Good evening, everyone. I am so thrilled to have my darling Lynny on with us tonight. And the beautiful Chanda Ingalls
Gosh.
is with us as well. Now, a lot of my viewers are probably not familiar with who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could just take a few minutes and introduce yourself to our wonderful family, our audience, our viewers, our friends that are out in the world that need to know exactly who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Chanda Ingalls, and I met Deb years ago at the Paracon, and she actually read my trans son. And that's how it all started as far as entering into my paranormal family, I call it. And but what I do for a living is I'm a victim advocate at my local prosecutor's office. I've been doing that since 2010. Before that, I worked in district court for a couple of years, and I actually took a pay cut to take the job that I have now because it's what I felt called to do. And I handle like criminal sexual assault cases, domestic violence, anything where there's a victim involved. I've been married for almost 25 years to a state trooper who's now retired and is a boat captain, charter captain, fisherman. And so we both were in kind of the same line of work where I could come home and we could talk about things. And I am a mother to a 24-year-old daughter and a 30-year-old trans son. And that has been a journey. So.
Well, you know that Lynny and I have, you were at the event with us this past weekend, and a great deal of attention was paid to the fact that these perfectly lovely, wonderful people in our lives are being deliberately and maliciously targeted.
Yes.
At this time. It's not that hasn't always existed, because people easily hate what they don't understand. But now is the time for us to stand up and to support and to be there for those in our lives who have gone through their own journey of self-discovery. And so often, it turns out that they don't have the support and the community that they need around them. And they frequently fall down into the pit of despair.
Right.
And so it is all the more important that we speak for the community. I don't believe that you have to actually be a trans person in order to understand, appreciate, love, adore, and cherish a trans person.
Right.
I don't. I think that we can learn from each other and that we can expand our own consciousness about this. I also personally, I will say this, and I haven't said this I don't think I've said this to either of you before, but human beings are changing. We are changing. We are evolving spiritually. We are evolving in terms of our own DNA. I think that the very best of us are the ones that are in tune with female and male Oh, isn't that so sweet? Oh, look at all the people that are here. And here we have the support system built right into the show.
We are here.
We
are here.
And so, Lynny spoke at length about starting a larger support group. So, let's share that. Talk about what we are doing in support of our brothers and our sisters, our evolved ones who need us to lift them to the light.
So kind of what, where we're going, and we're still in the very beginnings, but we are here.
Yeah. We
are here to love, to learn, to support, to resist, as Andrea added. I did make the Facebook group. It is just titled "We Are Here." I'll start adding to that. I just made it, so I'll start adding to that and get resources. We want to get resources. And then we also want real stories of real people like you who are, we need to hear your story. We need to put names and faces to these problems and try and find ways of supporting and helping people that need it.
Well, like I said before, just like during COVID, it seemed like people didn't really care about things unless it personally affected them.
Yeah.
So I believe that trans people are being dehumanized.
Yes.
And it started out subtle.
Mm-hmm.
And even when it started out subtle, I started screaming from the rooftops because that's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I started trying to plead with people on Facebook, people that knew me.
I watched the progression of your posts and
trying to humanize my child and I will say in my community, Shade is so well known and his heart is so pure and good. And I used to say when he was little, Lord, I don't know how I got this child because he is not sassy like me at all. Just the sweetest, the most kind soul. And people love him. They loved him before he was Shade. So when the transition started, I saw people that I thought maybe might vote a certain sort of way or feel a certain sort of way, be very protective of him. Mm-hmm. And I thought if we could just have that everywhere where people could get to know the person and see their humanity and who they are. It's a lot. It's so easy to hate.
Oh, yeah.
It's easier to hate something you don't understand or you're taught fear about it than to love and to accept.
Right.
So I don't know how far back you want me to go.
As far back as you'll take us, because how old, I mean, I don't know Shade's story, so I'd love to hear whatever you need to share.
One of my funny stories that I like to tell was Shade was about 4 years old. And we had gotten him a Barbie. Okay. And we had this big tub he liked to play in. And he also, had like dinosaurs in there and, alligators and things like that. Mm-hmm. So the Barbie was in the bathtub. And I came in and I said, what are you doing? And the Barbie was completely naked. And it was just the feet hanging out of the alligator's mouth. And she looked at me and said, he was hungry. Like this Barbie. That's about as far as that Barbie there was gonna be no combing of the hair and dressing in pretty dresses. And obviously boys and girls both like to play with dinosaurs and but it was just funny because it was like, And we always knew as Shade got older, we always expected, that Shade was gay. And that wasn't even a discussion or, but through the teenage years, I can even look back now and see the pictures of him in a homecoming dress and realize how very uncomfortable he was. And he was probably doing it, not probably, he was doing it because that's what was expected.
Yeah.
And I came into his room one time and I found something he was using to bind himself.
Mm-hmm.
So I held it up and I said, "Do you want those suckers cut off?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, let's start it." And that's how it started. We started going to the doctors and the therapy
Mm-hmm.
and all the things that you need to do to have that surgery.
And this is at what age?
We started the therapy more in his 20s
Okay.
for the surgery, started getting super serious about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then a great doctor started up in Traverse City where we would normally have to travel to like Ann Arbor or other places that he
Right.
could start going to. And once that started, that doctor was amazing and got us hooked up with a surgeon in Grand Rapids. And
Nice.
I think about 28, maybe it was May. It was actually this month that he had the top surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And before they had started the hormones, and I'm going to tell you something. And other people started noticing it too, and it's undeniable, is how he started to glow.
Mm-hmm.
And he was always kind of shy, but there was this confidence and this glow that started emanating from him that people could not ignore. They could not ignore. You know, he stuck up for himself a little bit more. He did things that, you know, before he would not. And I'd be the, you know, the grizzly bear mother going, "They said what to you?" You know? And, you know,
Like,
he started
I can't see you
drawing
doing
his own
that.
boundaries. Yes, he started drawing his own boundaries and not letting people treat him a certain way. And, you
Yeah.
know, and so once everything started clicking and everything, it was just like watching a flower bloom. How can you say this was the wrong thing when it was so the right thing?
Mm-hmm.
And I had someone recently ask me, actually, "Well, was it really devastating for you?" And I said, what would have been more devastating for me was to come home and find my child hanging in the closet. Because there are times back then that I didn't know what was wrong, right?
Yeah.
And there was some dark periods where I was afraid of that. So hell no. I did have to do the three things: let go, accept, and grieve.
Yeah.
And that's important because I had to grieve the little girl, the beautiful little girl that I gave birth to, because you hold your baby, you name your baby, you have this idea in your head of what your life is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to grieve that. And
Yes.
I remember I found this picture that I had his dead name, and every letter had this little cute thing, and it was pink and butterflies and all these things. And he wasn't around, of course. And I found it and I hugged it and I just bawled. I had to do that because once I did that, I could then celebrate Shade.
Yeah.
But I had to let go of my idea of what my life was going to be with my daughter, right?
Yes.
And I've gotten to the point now, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. And you know, you gave birth to this child and you're going to accidentally make mistakes. And now I've gotten to the point where we're starting the paperwork for a legal name change.
Oh.
And when I have to like say the dead name or say the wrong gender, it feels very uncomfortable to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels wrong and I'm lying. So I feel like, you know, I don't mess up anymore. I don't make those mistakes anymore because I have fully, and it's not about me, right? It's about Shade.
Right.
But as his mother and somebody who's going to advocate for him, I can't have one foot in and one foot out.
Right. It's an all in, it's all or nothing proposition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I found it in a good way that I was upset about having to say the wrong gender, or it bothers me. So it's a good feeling at the same time, because now I know that, you know, I don't think I say I have a son without hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I just wish that for everyone. I wish every trans, you know, Shade's 30 now, but I mean, every trans child, every trans teen has somebody that loves them enough to love their entire soul and who they really are inside.
the thing that's so upsetting to me is the way that so many people treat the trans community as though they are freaks of nature.
Yes.
You know, this is a big, complicated world. Mm-hmm. Frogs carry the material that a male frog can convert to a female frog, give birth to, have eggs, and then transform back to being a male frog. And will do that time and time again through the course of its life, depending on who's around to mate with. Mm-hmm. I think that each one of us is born with, it's not just about chromosomes. I think it's about our soul. And I think that somebody that has a well-developed sense of self recognizes that there are elements of each and every one of us that are male and female. Both. There are, many people that are born into this world with not only the genetics, but the actual physical form of two sets of genitalia. Mm-hmm. It's that at one time were called hermaphrodites. Right. And when I think that this has existed throughout the course of human history, and it hasn't been until like the last 50 years or so that we've had the medical technology to help people that truly believe they were born in the wrong body, mm-hmm. that they are not able to express themselves according to what they perceive themselves to be versus what the world tells them they are. That there's a liberation and a freedom in that is being denied.
Yeah.
In some states, like it's not legal to help your child transition.
And it's
you
by spreading
brought the child into the world, but you no longer have any choice in the matter, nor does the child, because some fucked up politician who has zero understanding about this and has never bothered to get educated on the subject has rammed something down the throat of the entire population of their state, Texas, among others. And it just makes me furious. It makes me furious. I have always said no one is free until everyone is free.
Well, and they spin this that it's a mental illness and it's this and that. And what's interesting about when I do have anybody that tries to come at me a certain sort of way is what I do for a living is I deal with a lot of CSCs, child sexual mm-hmm. victims, that I hold their hands. I look in their parents' eyes. I deal with case after case after case. And guess who is never the defendant in those matters?
A trans
or a drag queen.
Mm-hmm.
It's the people in your community that you trust.
Yep.
I'm just saying it's people who are left alone with children
mm-hmm.
that you trust. And I have a list, but I won't go into it. But it's, the mother's boyfriend, of course, things like that. But a lot of times it is somebody who you would never imagine in a million years.
Right.
The youth pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Every 3 years, I'm Presbyterian. I'm very active in my church. I am a Christian. And every 3 years, I have to go through criminal sexual conduct training. And we have to carry this big, huge, hefty insurance policy just because of that. So, yes.
Yeah, it's
interesting.
Open season.
People try to argue with me about it. It's just mm-hmm. because I'm like,
Yep.
It is open season on women and children.
Yes, it is.
Not only in our society, but all around the world.
Right. The vulnerable.
Right. The weak, the vulnerable, the ones that are left susceptible.
Yeah.
And I've always been kind of sassy pretty much my whole life. This job has made me decide when I started seeing certain things that are heading in a certain direction in this country that I have decided that I was made for this shit.
Yeah.
And
I think you were too.
Yep.
I'm not going
You got my vote.
Yeah.
So
I've been cheering you on from the background for a while now.
I know I've been a little crazy because I keep it light. I keep it moving on Facebook, and I've been wild.
No,
it's
time.
I'm not going to shut up and sit down anytime soon. So if you don't like it, you cannot be quiet now. You cannot.
No, it's time to fight back.
Yes,
this is evil, and if you don't fight evil with good, if you do not shine a light into the darkness, we're all lost. We're all lost.
The same qualities that people might say were why they were friends with me, or, I was the friend in the group they knew that would, say something. My loud mouth is coming in handy because I'm not.
Don't you feel
in
like
public, if I see something go down in front of me, I'm going to say something. I'm not going to be quiet.
Good.
If I see you be hateful or prejudiced towards a brown person in front of me, you better hold on tight. Because I'm not going to be the one that's not going to say anything. I can trust that.
Yeah.
I know. I'm exactly the same way. I have been an activist, a human rights activist, a gay rights activist, a women's rights activist, an animal rights activist my whole life. I started going to protest marches when I was 10 years old with my mother to protest the Vietnam War and the presidency of Richard Nixon. Now, I'm 66 years old. I've been at this for a long time.
So, and your mother showed you. See, my mother passed away last year as well, unexpectedly. She was only 70. And my mother was a tall redhead. And she always worked in outreach, whether it be Red Cross or just over the years. My mom she was a fiery redhead, and she was, she taught me to use my voice, and she taught me between right and wrong. She taught me that the first time I heard certain slurs and I asked her what they mean,
what that meant,
she would sit me down and she would have a long talk with me about it. And, you spar with your mom over certain things, and when you grow, and then you sit and think about how much she did form you and your way of thinking. And so last year I took, and this is one of the things reason why I bring up my mother is because she was one of Shade's strongest advocates.
I was going to ask. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And she did not mess up hardly at all with his gender, his name. I mean, she had it instantly. I'm still struggling the mother, and she was like,
it's hard. It's not easy, boys.
She had it immediately.
Adjustment. We all make adjustments to things all the time.
Yeah.
But her love for Shade, and my youngest doesn't take offense at all that the bond they had was just kind of extra special, And so my mom's love for Shade transcended just about anything. So when she passed, interestingly enough, Shade had been on a 2-year waiting list for an apartment because, the housing crisis we have going on. My mom passed, and I shit you not, 2 days later, this apartment that Shade really wanted because it was near us and it was near his work. And we thought, no way, it's going to be another year. He got a call, an apartment was open for him. And all my mom's furniture and basically a lot of her things just got transferred over into that apartment.
Nice.
So it was just like, I felt like it was my mom.
Taking care of him.
Oh, she would. She'd be on the other side making shit happen. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she made it happen from that side.
Yeah. So,
What about other family? How where in Michigan?
What's your
do you live?
extended family about
Yeah,
this?
you're right, but you live rural. We should probably let people know where you live in Michigan because
Onekama.
yeah,
So Manistee County, below Traverse City, Onekama, Bear Lake.
So rural, red Michigan is where you live.
Pretty much.
Being close to Traverse City, you're probably not quite as bad.
Right. I'd say there's like pockets.
Yeah, there is.
And then there are some people that just don't talk about it at all because it gets so heated. We have rules in certain places that I hang out with. It's just like it can't be a topic, right? Unless somebody was to say something nasty or whatever, then I'm gonna go off like a freight train. But other than that, we just make an agreement to not talk about it. But I just feel lately that I just can't.
Yeah.
Certain people I can't talk to right now. Certain people I just can't even interact with right now.
Yes.
Well, and that's what's happened, and that's part of the division because a permission structure has been granted and insinuated into the population that is carte blanche for any kind of bigotry, any kind of hate, misogyny, any kind of I mean it's just no matter. You
can't pretend you don't see it. How can you not see it?
Right.
Thank you. Back and like
everybody denies it. Well, they're living in bad faith if they deny it. I mean, it is. I mean, just look at what's happening with all these hateful laws that are being instilled. I mean, we just found out today that Planned Parenthood, even in states where women can still access a safe legal abortion, Planned Parenthood is being defunded there. They will do anything and everything at their disposal to try to take us back 100 years, to take us back to a time when women had no right to owning property, when women had no bodily autonomy, when women had no right to vote, when women, I mean, that's, if anybody wants to see what's happening in this country right now, it was out months before the last election. It's called 2025.
Yep.
And it is all about fascism, and it is all about something that is so detrimental to our society that it is frightening, absolutely frightening to me.
When I would post things about Project 2025, people would argue with me. People
I know.
You could post the actual project.
Yep.
I guarantee you not one of them that complained about it ever read it.
No.
Guaranteed.
I mean, if you actually read it, it's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, because some of it's already come true.
Right.
Already.
Already come true, and they've been playing the long game.
I can tell you this, we're not the same women anymore.
No.
And it's not.
No, we're not. No, and you know what? I fought for women's rights when I was a teenager. And I'm 66 years old, and I'm willing to get right back out there and fight like hell again. Fight like hell. My lungs.
Sometimes I feel like saying, to certain women, don't worry, I'll fight for you.
Yeah.
You just sit back. You have your blinders on. You worship your daddy dumpy pants, and I'll fight for you. That's how I feel lately.
Yeah.
Because I just don't get it. As a strong woman, and I get it that I help domestic violence victims. Yeah. I get women who are trapped or they don't have a say and they don't have a voice. Yeah. But when you do, and you still sit by and act like this is okay, and it's not going to happen, I just can't. wrap my mind around it.
Right. Well, like we talked, about this weekend, it is up to white women. We've got to step up. We've got to step up. We've got to be the protectors now. We have to be the voice. We have to be the loud one.
Yes, I totally agree.
Yeah, it's up to us.
I love seeing on TikTok. It's one of my favorite things of seeing every time there's a protest saying, you stay home, have yourself a nice hot cup of hot tea. We got this.
Yeah.
We got it this time. And Shade and I did go to our local protest here in Manistee. And I can tell you there was 700 people that showed up. And
Isn't it amazing?
It was amazing. And it was so empowering. And it felt like you're doing something. Me being on the show tonight makes me feel like I'm doing something.
You are doing something. You are doing something. You're doing
I went down to our local Social Security office on Wednesday with my sister and my niece, Nicole, and my nephew. Her younger brother, Sam, was driving through the intersection in his big ass truck. Looks like a good old boy, okay? I mean, he does. He's got the whole Georgia good old boy thing going. I don't know a more enlightened man than my nephew, Sam. And he looks over at our protest group and he's like, oh my God, that's my sister. And that's my aunt. And that's my other aunt. And he pulls into the parking lot and walks over and joins us. And somebody put a poster in his hand and there we stood. And we live in a blood red state, in a blood red county. And I can't tell you how many people at the busiest intersection in this entire town, how many people hit their horns, waving out their cars, flapping out the window.
That's what we had. It was really awesome to see.
Just like so
it's amazing.
pulling their windows down and shouting messages of support for what we were doing. Like, I'd be there if I didn't have to work today. I'd be there now. People were slowing down to read the posters.
And people were yelling, get a job. And we're like, it's Saturday.
Saturday, asshole. You get
except for all the people that showed up for the 100-day thing in Monroe or wherever. What about all of them? That was in the middle of a work day.
All the protests for COVID, it's
my favorite sign, my favorite expression for all through that, like you have bodily autonomy and can decide whether or not to protect the world from your virus with a mask. Okay. And that's okay. You can deny that. And my response to that is you go have a cup of shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. I am done. I will fight with my last breath. I will fight for our right to autonomy, for our right to preserve our beautiful, wonderful democracy. I will not. This will not stand.
No, I'm not taking 1 inch backwards.
And you know what?
Yeah.
This had to happen. This had to happen to wake people up.
I honestly, truly believe that.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. And I am part of the 4 a.m. club. I woke up that night clawing and scratching and I couldn't breathe and I knew something was wrong and I looked at my phone and I saw it and I was just like, something is not right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I felt like a big lesson is about to be learned.
Yeah, I was awake and I had that happen. I mean, it was you felt it. You just you felt like a whole shift.
Well, it's the paradigm shift.
Yeah, it was
actually felt
actual
the paradigm shift.
Yeah.
And this has been ongoing now since really it began in December of 2012. According to the Mayan calendar, when we left the age of Pisces and entered the age of Aquarius. And there's been so much that has happened since then that has literally altered the face of the earth and the humanity on it. I mean, so much has changed, but we have to, I think it was Deb that I was talking to about this, or maybe Jamila. Remember the Olympics and the strong, wonderful, built like brick shit house women lined up to do the 100-meter dash. And they all lined up along the straight line. And what do they do? What do they do before they take off like a shot? They take a giant step back.
Yeah.
Find their balance, find their equilibrium, put their heads down and go. And that's where we are now. We are the rise of the sacred feminine energy. Yes. We together will save this world. Nobody's going to step in and do it for us.
Nobody's going to save us this time.
No.
Nobody's saving.
We have to learn our own lessons. We have to learn our own lessons the hard way. Well, this is the hard way.
Yeah.
And until everyone is touched by the evil, by the permission structure that is allowing the rise of fascism, that is allowing neo-Nazism a voice, that is allowing people at the table who have no business there and don't have the best interest of the people of this country or the world in their hearts, if they've even got them. As I often say, you cannot have a crisis of conscience if you don't have a conscience. We are looking at like this beehive of these busy little bees that are all just doing what the queen is telling them to do, or king, and with no notion of the destruction that it is causing. No care, no concern. The agenda is their own, and mindlessly going forward with that agenda, no matter who it hurts. No matter who it hurts. And we are the ones that have to put our hands up and say, stop. Stop it. Stop it now. You are outnumbered. This is never going to fly. You might feel like you might maybe make a little bit of progress, quote unquote, toward your agenda, but it's not the right agenda. Everyone has a right to exist.
Yes.
Everyone has a right to exist and a right to their own body.
I mean, why does it bother someone so much for someone to want to live their truth? How does it affect your life? And they say it for, the bathrooms. And I'm going to tell you something. Shade is a trans man, is going to the correct bathroom. And I stand out there sometimes and count the damn minutes till my kid comes out and no one has hurt him.
Yeah.
So don't you fucking tell me that you're afraid when all they want to be able to do is go into the bathroom that makes them feel comfortable and go to the bathroom and no one hurt them.
Yeah, no one hurt them. Exactly.
There's no secret. There's no agenda of them wanting to do an entire sex change so they can hurt somebody. I mean, get real. You sound like an idiot. I mean, on the way back from Paracon last year, we stopped at a rest stop. And Shade confidently walked into the men's room. And I stood in that little lobby area breathing until he came out and didn't say anything to him. But I am terrified somebody's going to realize it and hurt him. And then I will be on death row. But anyway, you know what I mean? Like,
I'll help you bury the body, honey. It's fine.
We got that all worked out
first because she lives a lot closer. But I'll do my part.
Yes, we can call her for bail money.
But I mean, it's just so silly to me. And when I see people get spun up under a guise of of protecting women. It's
Yeah, I
like,
know.
okay.
That's a crock of bullshit if I ever heard it.
I just need them to leave me alone.
Yeah, how about
We're protected if they leave us
out of my
alone.
face?
Yeah.
I don't
Exactly.
need the protection of some
Right.
misogynist who thinks that he's better than every woman that was ever born when that motherfucker came out of the womb of a woman.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, Chanda, what kind of, like, I see in you, a fierceness, but how have things changed? Because you've become very, very vocal. So what's changed for you? Was it that like 4 a.m. waking up feeling? You've become a lot more fierce, maybe a lot more vocal.
Well, to be honest with you, that first week, I realized that I was Googling an underground railroad to get my trans kid to safety. And I realized as I was doing it that was making me so angry that I almost wanted to vomit, and that I should not have to be doing this. Right. And I should not have this fear. And so I decided that what I do for a living is not the reason, but it's time.
Yeah, it's time.
It's time. And if anybody has a problem with what I'm saying, there's the door. I don't care. Then you shouldn't be in my life. Don't tell me that you love Shade or care about him, and then vote for someone who wants to strip him of his rights, that possibly wants to round him up and take him to a camp. Also, my intuitive abilities were just kicking an overdrive of this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, and feeling sick, and just knowing no one's going to tell me it's going to be okay.
No, it's not okay.
It's not okay. And I know it's
the better part of a decade now of my life, knowing that nothing is okay about this. Nothing is okay about this. I mean, let's face it. America rehired a convicted felon. Okay? I mean,
a predator.
Yeah. A predator.
My
because of the price of eggs and bread. No, bullshit. That's not the reason. It was because just a few too many people in this country could not bring themselves to vote for a black woman. Period. Couldn't do it. Including plenty of black men, plenty of Hispanic men, and plenty of women.
Lessons to be learned.
Lessons to be learned. That's right. Because do you think right now, 100+ days in, that we would have had a crashed economy, that we would have had a backsliding in terms of voters' rights, in terms of women's rights, in terms of even animal rights? I mean, a deliberate taking backward from an administration that was run by a woman who was progressive, who left office with her counterpart, leaving us the strongest economy, the only economy in the world that bounced back from a global pandemic as fast as we did. The envy of the world. And since then, we have lost $11 trillion in value in terms of our exchange of the dollar is no longer considered strongest currency in the world. People don't want to buy our bonds. They don't want to invest.
They went around us. They went right around us.
Yes, they did.
We're making
I don't blame them.
our best neighbor.
Yeah.
When people line up on one side of the Detroit River and on the other side with bullhorns yelling, we're so sorry. It wasn't us. We didn't do it. Please forgive us. Oh my God. We had people that are friends of ours in Canada that wanted to come to the event in Houghton Lake, and they didn't come because they were afraid. to come to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
This will not.
And I don't blame them.
Uh-uh.
I don't blame
Oh
them.
my God.
Last week was Social Security. Next week is the VA. My father went into the VA. He's almost 90 years old. He went into the VA. He's got some issues with his eyes and he needed some drops. And he went up to the counter to talk to the pharmacist to get his prescription filled. And the pharmacist said, go have lunch and come back a little later. And then he came back and he sat for another hour and a half. He's almost 90 years old. And he sat for another hour and a half and he got up and he walked over to the desk and said, is there a problem? And the pharmacist, with tears in his eyes, said, yes, Roger, there's a problem. Last week, there were 5 pharmacists in this VA hospital, and now it's just me. Fired, no cause.
They didn't even cover the veteran march.
A rich son of a bitch wants to line his pockets more. And when a society values its currency more than its citizenry, we've got a problem. So, ladies, you know, I mean, you were there. This patent, nothing got held back. Nothing got held back. It was not only about healing and about coming together. It was about empowerment. It was about each of us holding the hands of the other. And saying, this will not stand.
We need more of that. We need more of that.
Yes, we do. We absolutely do.
I'll come back. Lynny, come get me, honey.
Yes, I will.
Bring the doggy down for a visit.
I'll bring the doggy
I'll
down.
be back with you.
Yes.
Well, even supporting each other on Facebook. I have a whole group of friends that nobody really argues with me much on Facebook. I don't know why.
They're afraid of you.
Imagine.
They should
We have a
be.
few MAGA
She's
heads that
weird.
comment. I just delete their comments because
Yeah.
they want to argue and they don't make any sense half the time.
Lynny is the cat. You know, in the cat and mouse. Lynny takes care of all my Facebook everything, especially my diagnosis. And I'm like, I got, you know.
Yeah, you don't need it. You don't need
take care of here. And so I'll put a post out. And, you know, I put out a powerful post. Pictures and the whole 9 yards. And then I'll just let her know, Lynny, just, you know, keep an eye out. Just keep an eye out because, you know, scumbags, trolls, they're coming. They're coming. They're coming.
They do not deserve your space. So,
but she tortures them first before she actually deletes them and blocks them. She tortures them.
Well, I love that. I love that.
Cat and the mouse. You know, where like the mouse is dying and it doesn't even know why it's dying because it doesn't even have a puncture wound in it because she has just tortured it for half an hour and then
look at her acting like she's all sweet over there.
delete, block. Lynn, you're
I
blocking.
don't know what she's talking about.
She takes pleasure.
See, no one would say that about me. They would not be shocked that I would tear someone a new a-hole.
Zero tolerance for ignorance. Zero.
Yeah.
I will not put up with it. I will not. I mean, when we had the big national march, the first big one on April 5th, my whole entire family went. We packed cars. I had friends that came in from other states so that we could all go together. And that was just the first. And the next, and the next, and the next. And he can pretend that he's not noticing that millions of people are flooding the rural towns of this country, the cities of this country, the streets of this country, saying this will not stand. And what are we saying, Lynny? We are
here.
I love that.
We are here. We are here. We're not going anywhere.
No, we're not going anywhere.
We're not going anywhere.
See, okay, Mean Bill said we only have 5 minutes left.
All right.
Like a minute ago.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I know.
I know it. But this has been wonderful, and we want you to come back next week.
Okay.
so that we can talk more about this, because I think Bill's got like how many 8 or 10 boxes that we can fit on the screen. We'll just send links to everybody. And there's the puppy, and there's the puppy. There's the 10. Okay, he says we have 10.
Yeah.
So we can do 10 at a time.
Okay.
And so that everybody can come on and talk about this incredible event. And then let's also mention that I will be back in Michigan, if not before.
Right.
I will be back for UFO Contact.
Last weekend of September.
September.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll probably stay a couple of extra days so that we have time to make our plans.
Yes.
You know, I'll tell you what, bring your hats, ladies.
Yep.
Bring your hats. Because I'll tell you what, sometimes you just got to put the hat on and let them know who they're messing with.
Yep.
They are going to lose the battle. They are going to lose the war.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They are going to.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and to me, this is, oh, you are so sweet. Mwah.
Thanks, Jessica.
She's so beautiful, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
We have, we're on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
We're on a mission. And it is.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're on a mission, Chanda? Do you feel like because that's a feeling that I have had since the election is I've been just absolutely spurred to protect, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't stay quiet.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm down for whatever.
Yes.
I'm ready.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we will. And we will. And we will support each other and love each other and lift each other up and inspire each other. And that will not stop. It will only grow exponentially because with purpose and reason, we were born to be at this time in the course of human evolution. Mm-hmm. And shade is an integral part of that evolution. And you tell him, I said so. Okay?
Yeah.
I love you. Love you.
And Shade wanted to go to Paracon for his 21st birthday. And he loved to listen to you speak, Andrea. And he loved to listen to Andrea speak. And my kids would only get up early if like John Tenney was speaking or somebody like that, they would sleep in. They're like, but that was what they paid attention to was if Andrea, when is Andrea speaking? And Andrea and John Tenney, that's all they hear about.
Well, when Deb first founded UFO Contact, she built it around the two of us.
Right.
And for years, it's been that way. We had a couple last year. I couldn't go because I had just been diagnosed and, but I came through online. I was there in spirit. I was there on a screen. I was there in computers. I was there, and we will do it again, and we will do it again, and we will do it again. And we will have more events where we get together to empower each other, to heal. Oh, Bill, wrap it up.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. What was that thing I said a little while about go have a
So everybody watch Facebook, watch the space. I'll get everything out there.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. And put it on Buttercup and put it on my page too. Yep. And keep toying with the mice. Okay. Keep toying with the mice. Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. Right. I love you girls. You have a wonderful night. Everybody that joined us, be inspired. Be the beacon of hope on the hill. Be the change you wish to see in the world and be the light you seek. God damn it. Be the light you seek. All right.
And we are here.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.